Good morning. Welcome to this training session on the administration of justice and management of the courts in the district judiciary. I know that all of us are already experienced and have already, been posted in districts, and we have already done many administrative work. And when I got the call from the director of the Sikkim Judicial Academy last time, because this session was supposed to be guided by some other resource person, but unfortunately there was some problem, so he called me maybe a week before, and I told director also that I'll be having all this coordination meeting, that. Then he requested that if you can just spare some time on 29th. So I said, all right, because I know that I cannot teach anyone, but I have come today with the hope that I'll learn something from you. Basically, the administration will talk something about the administration in the judiciary, the district judiciary. Now, first I'll be going through the acts, rules, provisions. Now, as you all know, that we'll start from the judicial officers' rules, then we'll go to the subordinate staff rules and all. As we all know, we have two service rules. One is the Sikkim Judicial Service, which is for the appointment of the JM, Judicial Magistrate, and the Civil Judge. Another one we have is the Sikkim Superior Judicial Service. Now, when we talk about the Sikkim Judicial Service, all the magistrates, JM, CJM, up to the level of CJM, are basically under the control and the supervision of the district judges. A district judge in the district is the top ranking officer who controls all the judicial function also, administrative function also, and the financial functions also. Now, if we talk about the powers of the district judges, first we have judicial power, everybody knows. We can decide cases, we can hear the matters, sum up the appeals, revision, and all. These are all judicial powers. I don't have to mention all these things. Now, other one is the administrative powers. In the district, you are the one who controls everything, be it finance, be it the staff, everything. Right from the date of appointment, everything is controlled by the district judges. Of course, there are certain things which needs to be forwarded to the Honorable High Court, but so far as the administration is concerned, it is the district judge who decides. Now, if we talk about the administrative powers, first and foremost which I see is that it is case management in the district courts. I don't know what is the scenario these days, because it's been quite some time I am not in the courts. Now everything must have been online by now, but when I was there in the court in 2020-21, it was something like, half was online, half was physical. Now this court case management is also very, very important. What cases are being filed, whether those cases are being registered or not, whether all those numbers are being generated or not. I think these things are to be, monitored and looked after by the district judge in the district. It is the duty of the district judge to see all these things. Apart from registration of the cases, there are, other issues also, so far as the judicial side is concerned. The district judge has the powers to review the performance of all the magistrates, whether they are performing their duty to the best of their abilities or not, whether their cases are being taken up on a regular basis, whether there are any pending cases. Of course, I think everybody is doing this because there is a mandate from the Honorable High Court as well as from the Supreme Court that you have to monitor all these cases on a monthly basis, and everybody has to submit the statement at the end of the month. So it is being monitored, but this is what I feel, that it is the district judge's responsibility to see whether the case are being registered in the timely manner, whether they are disposed in the timely manner, whether the service centers are, manned by the adequate number of manpowers. This is on the judicial aspect, so far as the judicial aspect is concerned. Now, another most important thing which I, consider is important for the district judges to monitor is the management of records. Once everything becomes online, maybe we don't have to worry about the management of case records. But as of now, because there are few physical cases are being filed, and we are maintaining the records in the physical form also. So I think the management of records, I'm talking about the case records, management of case records in the district courts. When I think in 2012-13 onwards, when that digitization started in the lower courts, then a lot of old records were, taken out from the case records. And in 2016, when I was in Namchi, I personally went to the record room to, see the condition of the record room. And there were a lot of files. Some of those files were dated back to 1940s. And, one interesting thing which was something amazing for me also, I got one file, I don't remember the exact, case number and the name of the parties. It was a criminal appeal filed before the king, Chogal, in 1941. And there was a judgment written by Chogal convicting the accused. So I think that time, the Chogal was the kind of Supreme Court, appellate authority, the apex authority to decide. So it was a well-written judgment. It was a short judgment of 5-6 pages, typed. It was a carbon copy, not the original. Carbon copy, typed one, but a well-written judgment. And I was amazed to see that, documents in our records. So I asked ADM and others also, this is quite a precious file, because this is something which was written way back in 1940-41, and these records are still preserved in our records. Then one more file which I got was a civil suit. And you know who was the judge who wrote that judgment? Justice Bhaskara Pradhan's father, Kansilas Pradhan. He wrote that judgment. I think those files are still lying in the records of the Namchi court. So I wanted to digitize all those things. I don't know, and then thereafter I got transferred from Namchi, but it must be there, still lying. But one more thing which I noticed at the district court Namchi that time was, maybe it is because of the the space constraint and all, lot of records were kept outside, not in the record room, outside the record room, and due to the the weather condition, the sun and all the pages were like the Hamlet all the pages were faded. Although there were pages, but you just cannot read it. And half of the pages were like, if you pull one page, then it will come into pieces only. It was like that. So I could not identify those records, where what kind of cases were they and who was the author of the judgment, how cases were being, tried on those days. But there are certain records which are maintained in our courts. Maybe there are old records in our Gangtok, district court Gangtok also, because this is one of the oldest court which we have in the state of Sikkim. So what I mean to say is that, maintenance of record is very, very important, because these court records are not only the records, but this is our legacy. Maybe after 30 years we can dispose of all these records, but to me I think these judgments, these orders passed by the then, Chogyal of Sikkim, the then judges of Sikkim, maybe those records are precious things for us. So maintenance of record is very, very important, and it is the duty of the district judge to maintain all those records. I think that judgment which Justice Bhaskara's father wrote, that judgment, I informed Justice Bhaskara's Pradhan that time, and I think that judgment is there in the museum also.
That's what I was thinking, that we should send these records to the
Yeah. Especially that, the judgment written by the then Chogyal. I think it is very important. No? So, maintenance of record is very, very important, be it in a physical form, be it in a digital form. Because nowadays everything is recorded digitally, so we don't have to maintain all those things. Of course, I think there are other challenges in maintaining the digital record. But we are maintaining all those digital records. Digital footprints are there in our servers, but maintaining the physical records is also very, very important. Then, destruction of record, because when there are no places, no space to accommodate, or no space to keep all those records, to maintain all those records, maybe we need to destroy all these records. But what I feel is, until we digitize all these records, we should not destroy these records. Now, another very important function which we as a district judge perform in the district courts, recruitment of the staff, our own ministerial staff. We have the rule in place under which we appoint all these ministerial staffs. And appointment is one thing, but controlling them and managing the staff is a difficult task. So far as the state government is concerned, it is one of the most difficult things which I have experienced in my 3-4 years of service with the state government, because you don't have any control over your staff. who is coming, who is going, who is absent, who is present, and there is a nexus going on, inside your department only. There are few officers whom you have given the responsibility of maintaining the, records, the leave record and all. They are in connivance with all those staff members. And if you ask for someone, then immediately a leave application will come. If you don't ask for anyone, then I am 101% sure that he will not be in the office. And until and unless you yourself go and take the registered along and mark the presence of each and every staff member, otherwise it is not possible. And maybe in the courts, the scenario is not as bad as we are having in the government departments, but I know that in the courts also there are a lot of staff members who take the advantage of our busy schedule and they skip, they bunk their offices. I don't know, want to name one, the clerk, yes, whom I worked for almost 2 years. I received one application for leave, casual leave for 5 days. I said, this is not done. At best I can grant 2 days, grant her 2 days leave. But, just look at the audacity of that staff. She didn't come for another 3 days. I had to issue SOGAS notice. And one interesting thing I just wanted to share with you all is, since we are all friends only and it is between us only, I got a call from a very high-ranking person. So they use all this kind of tactics. And I said, "ठीक है sir, but I'll convert this into EL." Then I converted that 3 days CL into EL.
When I was saying that, court also, I have also issued notice, SOGAS notice.
Same person. Same person.
I don't know, high-ranking politician. I will tell you.
You got caught.
I consider this type of living. I don't know this type.
She must have made some mistake, so please consider for once. So that was the request I received. I said, okay, I will consider it, but this will be considered as EL. But I cannot just let it go. In my office is like in every 15 days to 1 month, I check all those CL register and all. Then I have instructed, now I have a good additional secretary. When my joint secretary, who is now the district collector, Suraj, when he was transferred from my office, till Jagat sir was there. He was there when I joined, he was there for almost a year. Then in 22, and after the carving of this new 2 district, he got transferred from my office. And once he was transferred, I was not having a single officer in the rank of joint. As an administrator, I managed my office for almost 1.5 years with one under secretary. Because all the files used to come directly from under secretary to secretary. There was no officers in between. I managed like that. And later on, I used to make requests to the chief secretary, then the DOP secretary and on. And after 1.5 years, the present additional secretary was posted in Jordan in UTD. She was transferred to my office. Now she is doing well. She maintains all this. But 100% maintenance, it is not possible. Even in CMO office, this 100% attendance is not possible. But at least I am doing the review, and I made a point that, I will not scold him. I will not, say anything. Whoever is absent without permission or without taking, leave, I just deduct the salary for 1 day. Because what I found is, even even if you scold him, because in a fit of rage, you land up making certain nasty comments, which may not be, in the good health of both the you and that, subordinate staff. They might take it otherwise. So instead of doing that, and as a judicial officer, we're not supposed to do that also. And frankly speaking, for me, I just cannot fight verbally with anyone. So what I have started doing is, I deduct the salary for one day, LWP for one day, and if it's a regular staff, issue the SOCAS, but immediately deduct the salary. So that, monetary loss pinches them more than your words, actually.
Those are the become like used to it now.
Hmm.
As in 1 year,
Yeah. You scold, they'll just listen for, few moments.
Yes.
Then once they're out of your office, they forget everything, and tomorrow the same thing. There is one fellow in my office, he's an ad hoc appointee. And one day when I saw the register, then there are a lot of CLs being taken by him, casual leaves being taken by him, and I asked, because it's only 6 months, he has already exhausted all the CLs. So, who is this guy? I said, he is a new appointee and he is taking frequent leaves. I said, after 10 days, no further leaves. Then thereafter also he was not regular. He was, absenting himself one day. Sometime he is coming at 12. So what I did, then last year, this March, April, he completed that 4 years. According to that policy, you have to now regularize them. No? I regularized everyone except him. I processed the file of everyone except him. Then 1 week passed, there was no reaction from his side. And another week gone, no reaction. After 2nd week, he started running around then. Then I got, as usual, I got calls from many persons. Then I said, he's an ad hoc employee only. If his behavior, his conduct is like this, then maybe it will be very difficult for us to control him in later stage. Then I said, then I got a call from such a, I don't call him an influential person, but such a person, I could not say no. Then I said, okay, I'll do it, but I'll reflect it in his personal file. Then I reflected everything in the personal file. I, issued the SOCAS is kept in his personal file, everything is there. Then thereafter, I sent the file was approved, but at least there is something in his personal file saying that he was not regular and already some disciplinary action was taken against him before he was regularized in service. At least, because you cannot do more than that. So these are few, instances which I am sharing with you all. Although we have totally lost the culture, that work culture. Nobody wants to work. I don't know why. They are being well paid, all the facilities are there, everything is there. Even then, nobody wants to work. Now, after this, the online salary payment system, now the people have, now this situation has worsened like anything. If somebody is not coming to office also, if he has that, SAT card with that EU and all, he will be getting salary sitting at home only.
Yes.
And how long a secretary level officer will run around in office looking for the peon, mali, chowkidar, LDC and all. And forget about LDCs and UDCs, there are, gazetted officers who keep on taking unauthorized leaves. But I keep on telling these people that, I am not a headmaster or the principal. I am not Gothala anyone. If you want to come, come to office. If you don't want to come, don't come. But take the proper leave. If you are caught, then I will not spare anyone. At least something will be there reflected in your service record saying that he or she was like this. This December there are a lot of holidays, and in between there are 1-2 days, working days, otherwise all the holidays. And all these 1 or 2 days, if you go to the office and see, nobody will be there. In my office also, after 4, I am the only person available in office. I have given them the instruction, then my staff whom I require, you stay back, others you can go. I don't need you. Because I know that without them also I can run my office. I have experienced that this in, during the COVID times. Because that time that 20% thing was there. No? You were supposed to run the office only with 20% of the staff. So actually when I was running my office with 20% strength only, it was running smoothly and in a better way. Because everybody knew that these are the files and these are the jobs I need to do. Now what has happened is, if you have more than one officer to attend one file, then the file will not proceed further. Because the one will say that this is the duty of the other will say that this is the duty of the other officer. So they will keep on fighting who will do this, and the file will not move. Now recruitment of staff, we all know that the district judges have all the role to play, right from the point of advertisement of the post, then inviting application, advertisement, inviting application, then scrutiny, then thereafter the recruitment and the appointment orders. We all know the procedure. I don't want to discuss all these things. Once everything is done, then recommendation will go to the Honorable High Court. Once the High Court approves it, then we'll issue the appointment letters. Of course, before you issue the appointment letters, there will be that police verification, that that memorandum and all thing that will be there. So I don't want to discuss all those things. Now another portion, so far as the judicial officers is concerned, appointment, everything is done by the Honorable High Court, even the promotion, posting, everything is done by the Honorable High Court. So there is, I think, except the control and supervision over our subordinate judicial, I don't want to call it as subordinate judicial officer, the district judicial officers, district judge doesn't have other things to do. And of course, there is one thing remains, that is the, the filling up of the ACR of the officers, judicial officers who are under you. Now, another thing which is important for the district judges to, understand is the promotion of the staff members, because it is with the district judges. He will promote all those. I think we have that promotion committee in all the districts who will look into the performance of all the officers, then will recommend for the promotion. And there was a trend going on in the district courts earlier. I don't know whether that trend is still there, that all that group D staff were being promoted to the post of LDC, then some of them they become UDC also sometimes. Pescars also. No, if they are good enough, if they are intelligent enough, if they are well qualified, then I don't have any problems. I think all of you agree with me that we don't have any issues with that. But because there are few officers, like when I was in Special Division 2, there was one peon. What is his name? I forgot. His father was driver in court only. Guru, Vikas used to manage the entire court.
Yes.
He used to prepare the statement, he used to sit in the court as a peskar, and he was a peon only. He used to do everything. And side by side, he was qualifying himself also. He did, I think, when he joined service, he was, I think, class 12 pass. He sat for class 12 graduation, and he completed the graduation also. So, now he is LDC now. But if somebody is like that, who knows everything, like because he knew better than the Peskar and the LDC, UDC were posted in my court that time.
Not better than Peskar is absolutely.
Yes, absolutely hopeless. Yes, absolutely hopeless. So, if this is the kind of quality on Group C staff is having, then we don't have any issues promoting him. Of course, to me there has to be some kind of screening. But all those promotees who even doesn't know how to write their name, it will be very, very difficult for the judicial officers on the later stage. You will promote them out of pity or out of compassion and all, you will promote them, but once you promote them, then you will have it. If you ask for something, they will get something else. If you ask them to, prepare one file, then it will never come back to you, because they will just, run around looking for a person who can write a note. So it will be very, very difficult. So when I was CJ Mayor, that time I was the chairperson of that DPC. I didn't want to do it, but there was no choice because there was no other CGM that time posted in Gangtok. So I was given that responsibility. So there were a lot of cases where I called them and I told them, look, if you can really do it, then we have no issues. But if later on, if something goes wrong, then you will be held responsible. Then most, some of the groups D, these employees, they gave it to me in writing saying that we don't want any promotion. Because so far as monetary benefits are concerned, they are already getting it. Because sometimes it happens that the UDC is getting less than peon because of that seniority and all. No? Because there was one driver in SLSA, I think he is still there, I don't know. That one old driver was there. No. There was an old guy, some lecturer, Bhutia. He used to draw salary better than the undersecretary. He was one of the senior most drivers. So, promotion and posting, so far as the lower court staffs are concerned, I think this is something which I wanted to tell. If they are deserving, if they are well qualified, then I think we don't have issues promoting them. But on a regular basis, like since they are very senior, we should promote them. I think that is not proper, because ultimately that will hamper our working condition only. That will affect our day-to-day performance in the court. Now, another thing is leave, which we are talking about. This leave, maintenance of leave is very, very important, because what they are doing these days, because now this is we have everybody is having this mobile phones, and it is very easy to inform anyone. And there is a trend going on in most of the offices that they will just send one leave in WhatsApp. In my office, what I have done, or what I have given the instruction that if a leave is sent on WhatsApp, don't accept it. it should be sent in the official email of the court or any office. At least if it comes in the official email, then at least you'll have the record and you can say that it was sent. If somebody is sending in the WhatsApp, then what they will do? Until and unless that person is asked for by the senior officers, they will not place it before you. So, sending leave through WhatsApp should be discouraged. That is what I feel, and I am doing that. Now, talking about the leave, so far as the rules regarding the leaves is concerned, for the judicial officers also, for the lower court staffs also, I think it is the state government leave rules which we are following. Because for judicial officers also we don't have our separate leave rules. We have recruitment rules, we have amenities rules. But we don't have leave rules. Leave rules, I think if I am not mistaken, then we have recruitment rules for the judicial officers, superior judicial service and the judicial service. Then we have amenities rules, which is different from the state government. Rest we follow the state government rules like leave, conduct rules, then the disciplinary and appeal rules. So these three rules we follow the state government rules. So there are different kind of leaves like casual leave, earned leave, medical leave, extraordinary leave. So there is a provision also in our rules that you have to maintain certain number of leave in your leave account. You cannot go below that. And in the state government also we have that policy of you can encash the leave for 1 month if you have more than 300 days of leave. But it is only applicable to the non-gazetted officers in the state government, others cannot. But for judicial officers, even the judicial officers can encash our leave. I did last year. You will get one month's salary. And sometimes sukha lage ko that too, works as a magic for us. Now, so leave. Then another one, one of the most important thing is the disciplinary proceedings. Because lot of disciplinary proceedings needs to be taken. If you go by the book, then every day we'll have one disciplinary proceeding in our office. But we know we don't have time to go through all these things, so we just ignore. We tend to ignore all these things, but a lot of cases are there. Now, we follow the disciplinary and appeal rules of the state government for conducting the disciplinary inquiry and all. I think everybody knows that. And so far as the conduct of our ministerial staff is concerned, even for the judicial officers also, conduct rule, state government conduct rule is there. That is being followed.
Sir, I have a small question. One of the action that we can take after disciplinary inquiry is the holding of a meeting. Which is the most common provision.
This is the most common provision.
But sir, I don't find it actually anything because after, if we say we withhold the implement after 2 years, after a lapse of 2 years, they get everything done in our done now on the side. Last years of withholding, it should not be given away.
Yes.
It should be something like that because for them it doesn't matter, sir. We both said I wrote it, one month, something actually government concept.
Because withholding, there are I think 2 or 3 kinds of, types of punishment prescribed under the discipline and this conduct rules. One is reprimanding, and or if he is a first time offender, or if he has done something for the first time, then you can just reprimand him and let him go. Another one is like withholding the increments. Now a serious kind of punishment is he will be demoted, degraded from his post, and another one is compulsory retirement or termination from service. So there are 4 kind of, the punishment which you can impose upon any such officer or any such staff, the employee who have not shown his efficiency or his conduct is unbecoming of a government servant. So, like withholding the increment, I also find something very funny, because you withhold his increment for 1 month or 2 months, thereafter he will get everything.
As a lump sum policy for it.
It should be like, once withholding increment is imposed, punishment of withholding increment is imposed, he should not get that increment for his entire service career.
Let's say for 2 years you're withholding it. For 2 years he doesn't get any. Third year they get money what he was supposed to get in the first year.
Yes. Because normally we get increment in every 1 year. So if you are withholding the increment for this year, that means you should not get the increment for this year. Maybe you will be eligible for increment next year. If others are if others are getting 10 increment in their entire career, then you will be getting only 9. So that should be the actual punishment. Because the way you are imposing nowadays, it is not a punishment, it is a kind of saving for him. And termination from service, I don't think that is proper also, and we should not be giving that. Compulsory retirement, termination, and very harsh, but there are few instances where I think I should have recommended that also. Because what had happened when I was in Namsi, there was a theft in the Malkhana. And that thief was so intelligent, he didn't take anything except the spasmoproxepan tablet and Corex bottles. There were cash also in the Malkhana. Around 40,000-50,000 cash was there. Some gold ornaments were there. But he only took the entire, case exhibit of SATA cases. I was in my bungalow only. In the morning, the other day, I was in the office for around 7 in the evening. Then I came back to my residence. Everything was fine. Next morning, around 6:30 a.m., I got a call from ADM saying that, "Sir, Malkhana futaya cha yaha." And I said, "Gaera chito hernos ke bhako rahecha," and informed the police. Then I also came. Like, kain rahecha bhitra, 2 case exhibit was taken. Then I reported the matter to the police also. Then after 2 or 3 days, I got a call. I got a letter from the Honorable High Court saying that you please explain how this thing happened in your jurisdiction. I was so upset that time. So I said, nothing doing, I have to do something. And that one old man was there, a chowkidar. And when I inquired, I came to know that he was drunk and he was sleeping somewhere. Then I suspended him. Like you said, I withheld the increment. I don't know thereafter you got or not. But I think in my order I clearly mentioned that you will not get the increment for this year. You will be eligible only after next year. I don't know thereafter what happened. Mala sarapyo hayo pura.
That's part and parcel of our lives.
Because some of the staff members were telling me that सरले मेरो रिटायर हुने बेलामा सब खत्म गरिदियो भनेर पुरा सराप्यो भन्दै थियो. Let it be, I said, लाग्यो भने लागेन के छ त भन्ने मैले. So DP is important for us. After introducing this, maybe it will improve a lot, because every day they just cannot take that plea, because my mobile phone is not working, this, that. But I don't know whether that will also work or not. Because already in the secretariat they have that face recognition system. You have to stand like this. The device will read your face and mark your attendance. At least if you start taking their attendance once in the morning and once in the evening, then also lot of things will improve. Because those who are just going nearby places, the users can't stop them until and unless you have a fenced compound and your gates are locked. Otherwise, they can't afford to go back to their home. Because again, if you go back home, then again you have to come back at 4:30 to mark your attendance. So that will control to some extent, almost 50-60% that thing will help take is the maintenance of the seniority of all these staff members. Because it is ultimately the lookout of the district judge only. Who is senior, who is junior. Recently there is a case which was going on before the Guwahati High Court. Guwahati High Court had disposed of this matter. This is with regard to that, the seniority of the account service officers. Our Honorable High Court only pronounced a judgment saying that the seniority should be given to all those 10 petitioners who were promoted to the post of, senior AO from the date they were promoted in the officiating capacity. And the state government had challenged, 3 days back the Guwahati High Court has disposed of the case, but I have not gone through the judgment. So in that, what had happened was, there was an interview in 2008 or 9 where 17 or 19 EOs were appointed, accounts officers were appointed, and in the same year around 10 or 12 senior accountants were also promoted to the post of EOs. But all those EOs, those senior accountants were promoted in the officiating capacity, not in substantive vacancies. Now till 2013 everything was fine. In 2013 these promotees, they started grumbling that we are senior to the fresh recruits because we were promoted before them. But the contention of the state government was, since these promotees were promoted in official capacity only, so your promotion, your seniority will be counted once your service is confirmed in the post. And all those fresh recruits, they were appointed from the day they joined service, they were born in the cadre. So they were senior to you. But they fought the case for almost 10 years. Now it has been disposed of. So this kind of issue keeps on coming. In Costa, we don't, in the rarest cases only we give this officiating promotions and all. Until and unless there are certain exigencies, court will not consider all this kind of cases. But in state government, there are a lot of officiating promotions. No? So this is quite a, problem. Now, how you will count the seniority? Whether it should be from the date when they were promoted in officiating capacity or from the date when their service was confirmed. I think there was a judgment of the Supreme Court saying that once you are confirmed in service, then only it is considered that you are born in service. There is something Devi's judgment is there, I don't remember because. But in our courts also there are a lot of seniority issues, Mo Matthew, Tala, these, that. So I think it is always better. No, Umadevi is something different. Umadevi is with regard to that. You should not appoint any person from backdoor channels and all. That is there. You need to have the proper interview, everything. If you want to appoint someone, appoint him as per the law, not through backdoor entries. But in Uma Devi's judgment also, the Supreme Court has considered that for one-time grant, one-time concession, these 5 or 6 petitioners should be considered. Now, maintaining the seniority is very, very important. So everybody is doing that, and I have not seen any, I have not come across any such issues. Yes, minor issues keeps on coming in the courts also, that he is junior, I was senior, this, that, but I think nobody has approached the courts saying that I was prejudiced by the orders of the, district judge, and I was put below XYZ, I was senior to him, this, that. This kind of cases has never been filed, but I think we have to be careful in maintaining the seniority of our staff members, because now, earlier when we were there, I think the staff members were less in the courts also. Nowadays, after all this digitization and all, lot of cadres have been created in the lower courts also, like computer cadre, managers, this, that, court officer. So I think these things will, happen in near future. Somebody will come to you saying that मेरा seniority the marry this and the a committee headed by the concerned district judge, where the CJM level officers will also be the member of the committee, and somebody from the administration will also be there. That kind of, committee.
No, but so the transfer thing will also resolve, because now the thing is the ones who are posted in district never get to come to Gangtok or Namchi. So that means the ones in Gangtok and Namchi don't want to move anywhere also.
That is what.
So it is centralized where they know they have to, like how we are always prepared and mentally prepared, we have to go to the district. So
Nowadays what has happened in our, district judiciary is that for judicial officers also, it is very difficult, because for our ministerial staff we have separate rules for different districts. Like you have actually rule is same, but it is issued in different dates, and in some of the rules there were contradictions also. Maybe by now that they must have resolved it. Because some of the pay scales are getting more, and some of the pay scales are getting less. So instead, I think long time back I also suggested that instead of having, so many rules, why can't we have one rule?
during COVID time,
Why don't you adopt one rule, like the, the recruitment rule of East?
That existing rule has to be amended.
No, we will repeal all the other rules and we will only consider those rules which are, in line with the all other rules, so that there will be no contradiction. Because after all, we all are humans, so even if we are copying something from the first rule, maybe there are chances that we tend to make small mistakes, which later on becomes a problem for us. Like you are saying, in some of the officers in the north are getting less compared to the officers in the east. So instead of having different cadre rules, maybe it is advisable to centralize, if we have a centralized rule for all district and session court rules. So promotion, posting, transfer, seniority, everything will be controlled by one and the single rule, so that there will be no duplicacy and no contradiction. Another one is this pay fixation. Pay fixation thing is quite a tricky, because till date I have not understood. We have to rely on our EOs and our accountants, because level 16, level 14, band 2, band 3, I don't know what is that. Very confusing, but you have to be very careful if you are fixing the the pay of your staff person, because last time I had a big problem in my office also. We fixed the rule, the employee draw the salary also, later on we came to know that we are giving more. And if you are giving less, then there will be no problem because you can always, give him the balance as an area. But if you have given him more, then the problem will arise because you cannot recover it back. It is very, very difficult. Somehow we just, manage it. We could not recover that amount, but we have rectified the order, and from the date of the new order, that employee started drawing the actual, salary. So I think we have to be very, very careful while fixing the pay of any of our staff members. Another one is grievance redress. Lot of grievances keeps on coming to us. Yo bhayena, tyo bhayena, computer saina, table saina. I don't know what is the situation in the courts, because in our office I keep on getting all this kind of application that table saina, chowki saina, because every day a new staff member is coming and joining. And if somebody is coming, then I have to manage something to him. So this grievance redress, not only this, you'll get all this kind of application that मेरो पे मा यो गडबड भएको छ, मेरो लिभ अकाउन्टमा यस्तो भएको छ, मेरो सिनियरिटी मिलेको छैन, मेरो कुनै के भएको छैन. One interesting situation which I faced in Namchi was that I think that employee is still there, Dichen. Dichen. I think now he is the Peshkar, no? Peshkar or Steno. Dichen was already working as a LDC. Dichen was already working as a LDC in the court only. So there was a vacancy for stenographer grade 3. So he applied and he was posted at LDC, but he was doing the work of steno only when I was there in Namchi. So I only encouraged him that, I was little bit, like selfish, because there was no other steno, that other steno. After Parimal and all retired, then we were left with only one steno, that Abhijit. Abhijit was a terror for everyone. Now, I thought that Dichen will handle the situation, so I'll encourage him to join service as a stenographer grade 3. So he sat for the examination also. He did well because he was already practicing. His speed was good, everything was good. So he was qualified to all these things. So we appointed him as a stenographer grade 3. Then one fine day he came to me, "Sir, mero the salary ko kam chukka hai, sir." And I said, "Are kasari, how come you are getting less?" By that time, because of this seniority, he was drawing 3,000 more as a LDC racer. And when we joined as a stenographer grade 3, he has to start from the beginning, entry level. So entry level salary of the stenographer grade 3 was less than the salary of a senior LDC racer. So he said, "Sir, मलाई त नोक्सान हुने भयो, जोइन नगर्नु पर्यो." And मेरो त हातै माथिन्छ हो, there is no one else. मेरो त stenographer नै थिएन नि त्यति बेला. Once that old man retired, then I started, looking for the solution. What I can do, how to do it. Then I had a meeting with all my administrative staffs also, and somebody suggested that, "Sir, एउटा provision देखे जस्तो लाग्यो छ एउटा. There is a provision in our service rule रहेछ, pay protection भनेर." Now, what is that provision? I just wanted to share because everybody knows होला र पनि. त्यो चाहिँ कस्तो खालको provision रहेछ भने, if in a situation like this, if a situation like the one I mentioned arises, then you can protect the pay of that person till he is paying the new posting. comes up to the same level. So, what I did, I read the provision, but I was not very sure how it is to be done. Then I consulted this Mishra sir. He used to be the resource person in the ATI. He retired as I think additional secretary or something like that. Fortunately, he is my next door neighbor at Tadun. So I consulted him. I went to him. We had a cup of tea together and I asked him, sir, is there the problem? Sir. Then he explained to me, भाई यस्तो 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 गर्नुहोस् यसरी भाइरल चलाएर यसरी उसको वेब प्रोटेक्सन भनेर यसरी एउटा नयाँ अर्डर निकालिदिनुहोस्. Then I followed the procedure. Then I took out a new order saying that until your pay becomes, at par with your pay which we are drawing when you are LDC, this much pay will be protected and you will get this as an extra pay kind of thing. Now, again another problem arose. I took out the order. Now, the accounts people came to me saying that, sir, अब यो extra pay चाहिँ कहाँबाट draw गरौँ? Because हाम्रो provision मा त यस्तो मात्रै हुन्छ. फलानाको पे यति, फलानाको पे यति भनेर हुन्छ. अब यसलाई कहाँबाट draw गरौँ? That was another issue. And I don't know, somehow the accounts people, they managed it. And कसरी manage गर्यो त्यो चाहिँ म भन्नु सक्दिनँ, but it was managed and he got that extra pay. I think 2 years someone he draw that extra amount of 3,000 and thereafter
It goes up.
now once after 3 years when that after increment and all, when the pay of the stenographer grade 3 became equivalent to that of the LDC in the senior grade, so that thing was stopped. So these are few situations which I faced that time, but if we go through this book, then I feel there are solutions to every problem or every challenges we face while performing our administrative work. Now promotion and all we have already mentioned and we have already discussed also. Now discipline, punctuality, all these things we can only discuss, but it is hard to maintain. But we can discuss that we need to maintain discipline, we need to maintain punctuality, this, that. But compared to the department, in the courts, everybody is maintaining it. Everybody maintains, especially those staff members who are around you, PESCAR, UDCs and all, because they have to be on time, otherwise it will be a very nasty situation in the wards. A meeting, coordination, all these things with judicial officers, this, that, I think this is a regular thing, we don't have to discuss all these things. Now, so far as administration part is concerned, I think I don't have anything else to discuss with you all. And if you have something, some instances, some situations which you have faced and you have dealt with it accordingly, maybe you can discuss all those things also. Because I have already mentioned in the beginning that I am actually not prepared with this topic because I didn't get time to go through it. Although I have brought some amendments in our rules, service rules, and also before I close this first session on the administrative powers and functions of the district judge, I just wanted to share all these things. There are a lot of amendments being made in our service rules also. I don't know whether you all have the copies of these amendments. I have brought this. First I will go by the Sikkim Superior Judicial Service. We have this rule in place since 1980 and the recent amendment in this rule is of I think 2022 where our pay was fixed. So we had an amendment in 2022. This is the Sikkim Superior Judicial Service Amendment Rules of 2022. So district judge entry level J5, selection grade J6, super time grade J7, all this table were inserted. Likewise, in our Sikkim Judicial Service Rules also, there was an amendment in 22, where all this table were inserted. That Civil Judge Junior Division J1, Civil Judge Junior Division ACP grade J2, J3, this schedule has been added. Now, recently there is one more amendment that has come up after the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, that you need to have, reserve quotas for promotion of the judicial officers and all. This recent amendment is of 2025. Before that, there was one amendment in 2024. This is Sikkim Superior Judicial Service Amendment Rules. In this, that 25%, 35% thing were added. That selection grade reservation, 25%. From 25%, it was increased to 35% selection grade. Similarly, super time grade from 10% to 15%. It was increased. This is in 2024. This is notification number 15 Gen DOP dated 30th/1/2024. Now, there is one recent amendment in 2025 after the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, where the Honorable Supreme Court has directed that the service rule of the recruitment rule and the service rule of all the judicial officers by all the states should be amended as per the direction of the Honorable Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court has directed that that you need to have some quota for the promotion of the judicial officers, right from the JM cadre up to the district judge. Because what the Supreme Court has observed, that in many of the cases, because of the large volume of cadre, the judicial officers who are deserving, they are not being promoted to the post of ADJs and district judges. Because I was going through the judgment and there is one line mentioned by the Honorable Supreme Court that in many of the states, a judicial officer who was appointed in the post of civil judge don't even reaches up to the post of senior civil judge in his entire career, because of the huge number of cadre, huge number of posts in the cadre. So just to avoid all these things, Honorable Supreme Court has said that there has to be certain quota kind of thing. One, regular promotees. Other one, if you have extraordinary skills, if you have deeper knowledge of law, or you are capable enough, then they should be given the opportunity to sit for certain kind of examination, and if such judicial officers pass that examination, then despite of their seniority, they should be promoted. So that amendment is also there. I'm going through it. Yes, it is of 2025. The amendment has come in both the rules, Superior Judicial Service also and the Sikkim Judicial Service. This is notification number 139 Gen DOP 12/11/2025. This is with regard to the this is different. This is appointment of the court managers. This is the one 137 Gen. Yes, 137 Gen. This is Sikkim Superior Judicial Service Amendment Rules of 2025, notification number 137 Gen DOP 12/11/2025. In this, that 50% by promotion from amongst the Chief Judicial Magistrate. This is for the promotion from the post of the Senior Civil Judge to the post of District Judge. 50% by promotion from amongst the Chief Judicial Magistrate come senior civil judges on the basis of the principle of merit cum seniority and passing suitability test. Then a suitable test shall be conducted. These are all criteria given how we will do it. Then ACRs of the judicial officers for 5 years shall be assessed. These are the direction given by the Supreme Court, and as per the direction, this amendment.
So for now, normal promotion was from CGM to district judge, sir. But you also want to see for supervisor judge, sir.
It's limited.
This is limited. This is limited because 50% is for regular promotion and 50% quota will be given to those who wants to sit for this kind of examination. So this amendment, state has already taken out this amendment in 2025. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the second session. So I won't be taking much time. Now we have discussed some of the powers and the responsibilities of a district judge, how we will manage the courts, staff, records, the promotion, seniority, big accounts of the ministerial staff in the district judiciary. We have discussed. Now we'll be discussing few points on financial powers. Now, as a district judge, as we all know, that we also have certain financial powers also. We are the head of the department in every district, and we have certain financial powers. We can sanction certain amounts, we can approve certain things. Now in 2025, only Government of Sikkim has amended the SFR, Sikkim Financial Rules. They have come up with the new SFR. I don't have a physical copy of the SFR because they only printed 10 copies. But I have the PDF form of the SFR with me. I can share it with you. There are not many changes. There are certain changes so far as that the sanctioning power is concerned. There are few changes. They have increased it, but not many changes are there. It is almost the same. I have not gone through the entire SFR also because it is quite a voluminous thing. But I have the copy with me. I'll share with you, or I'll put it in the group. You can just download it. Now, as a district judge, we have to manage the funds in the districts also. Because every district court is provided with certain amount of money in the separate budget head. So we have to manage all those funds also. So far as managing the funds are concerned, it is, the powers given to the district judge are that of head of the department, HOD. There is a difference between the drawing and disbursing officer and the HOD. Drawing and disbursing officer is an officer junior to a district judge who will be authorized to sign the checks, who will be authorized to sign the sanction orders and all. But so far as sanctioning of the amount and sanctioning of any work, any tender, any work is concerned, it is the duties of the district judge. District judge has to sanction it. Even if it is a bill of 1 rupee, it is the district judge who will sanction it. We cannot delegate the sanctioning powers to our DDOs or the accounts officer. We cannot do that. It is for the district judge to do it. Like, there was a notification some time back where the Government of Sikkim has increased the sanctioning power of the head of the departments. It was an interim arrangement because need was felt that the sanctioning power and the amount which a head of the office or head of the department can sanction was not enough, and need has arisen to increase the amount which a head of the department can sanction. So there was an interim order. Now after coming to force of this new SFR, Sikkim Finance Rules, now everything is there in the finance rule. I think there is an annexure A or annexure some C, something is like that. I think annexure A, appendix A, appendix A. So if you see the table in that appendix, that everything is given. 3A, yes, 3A. So everything is there in that table. How much money you can sanction. In some of the amounts you can sanction in full. Like even if it is a bill of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs you can sanction it. And some of the amounts you don't have it. But so far as the head of the department is concerned, I think in most of the things, he can sanction the entire amount. But there are very few items which head of the department cannot sanction in full. There are certain restrictions to it, but in rest of the cases he can sanction everything. And I don't know, maybe I think from Judiciary it doesn't go up to the level of the Chief Minister's office, but if you are purchasing a vehicle, then it has to be sanctioned, approved and sanctioned by the Chief Minister for the state government. It is there long time back. From Judiciary it doesn't come.
Finance department.
No, like once a proposal comes, if some department wants to buy a vehicle, then a proposal comes. That proposal will be, will be processed for the finance. No, that is what I think. So far as the judiciary is concerned, I think it is. If you are condemning a vehicle, then it is the Home Department only who takes care of it. Once the Home Department allows, you can just send the vehicle to either to the SNT or the Home Department. So that is the procedure. But when you are buying a vehicle, if a department is buying a vehicle, then when the proposal comes along with that, that bills and all, then it has to go to the finance department. Finance will concur it. Once concurrence is done, then we will send the file to the Chief Minister's office for approval and sanction of the amount. So once it is approved, because there is a notification of the state government saying that for the purchase of the vehicle, it is only the Chief Minister who can sanction. Maybe just to curtail the indiscriminate purchase of the vehicle by the departments, I think that provision is there, and that still continues in the state government department. But because Lokayukta comes under the law department, law department is a nodal department of the Lokayukta. So last time I think for third quarter, Lokayukta didn't get the budgeted provision. Provision was already there, but the resource was not released to them. So Lordship we had a meeting with the Lordship also, and Lordship was of the view that I think the Lokayukta should be given a separate budgeted, not only the law department. I said I think that can be done. But only thing is that we cannot take out the Lokayukta from the law department. Because there is a problem. If Lokayukta is given a separate entity away from the law department, then what happens? There will be no ministry. A minister in charge won't be there. So if something has to come before the assembly, then there will be no minister in charge to place it before the assembly. If you are not under any ministry, then you cannot place the bills before the assembly. So what we have devised one mechanism where my officer has proposed that Lokayukta will not entirely be under the law department, but law department will be a licensing department for the Lokayukta. So I convinced the Lordship also that we do like this, so that we also will not have any problems, and Lokayukta will also not have any problems. So So he has convinced also. So far as the budgetary provision is concerned, that they have already, the Lokayukta is already having a separate budget head. So it's only the matter of release of the resource that can be taken. I don't have any issues. I even propose that you can have, self-drawing kind of thing in Lokayukta, like the High Court. Because High Court is self-drawing, it doesn't have to go to the, this one. And in the district judiciary, it goes to the treasury, no? It is only the High Court who is self-drawing. District judiciary are not self-drawing. Reappropriated money, then you have to utilize it.
Government has sent fund, and after getting fund, now the concerned section of the judiciary will now run for tender. So which provision of the rules will be applicable, central or state government? Because the fund has come from center, UC has to be deposited, sent to center. So the account section, especially general section, they are confused which law will be applicable, because the audit will ask under what provision you have now float the tender.
No, so far as the utilization of money in the state is concerned, it is the SFR which is applicable to all the projects. Be it a central government project, be it a state government project, it is the state SFR that is applicable. The floating of tender, utilization of money, everything has to be done as per the SFR only. You only have to follow the guidelines issued by the Government of India. Because in every money or every project under the Government of India, there is certain guidelines. Because nowadays what is happening, anything coming from the Government of India, it comes with certain guidelines only. Unlike the older days. Like the CSS, there are a lot of guidelines to be followed. You can only divert 25% in other expenses. Even in case of contingencies also, you can divert 25% subject to the approval by the state empowered committee, these, that. And you cannot buy furnitures, or you cannot, do other things.
But now that is the implementation of rules by virtue of the president only. But in black and white, I have not seen it.
In black and white, there is nothing. But Government of India has not even insisted in not even single case that you have to follow the Government of India rules, because that is not possible also. Because project is being implemented in the state. So the state, because all the CSS project, be it a central sector project, be it centrally sponsored schemes, everything is being done following the SFR only, and utilization will be submitted. Now, earlier we used to have that Pranali. Now, after Pranali, it came the SNA, Single Nodal Agency. Pranali is like, it is a cyber treasury kind of thing to manage the salaries, allowances, wages of the state government. Thereafter, the Government of India came up with the SNA, Single Nodal Agency system, where Government of India is giving money, but it is not coming in the treasury of the state government.
Very clear.
It remains with the central government only. As and when the bill is raised, it directly goes to the account of that SNA account, Single Nodal Agency account. Like in our case, centrally sponsored scheme for judiciary, building is the nodal agency. So, although law department is in between, but money doesn't flow through the law department. It directly travels to SNA account of the buildings department. From there, contractor will get the payment. We will only liaison in between the Government of India and buildings department. Now, Government of India has moved to one more further step. They have come up with new SNA spurs now. Spurs. Look at the, choice of the words. Spurs. It looks very, fancy and very soothing. But it is one of the most difficult accounting systems. Now what has happened? Now whatever project is there from Government of India, now you have to open one account with RBI. Reserve Bank of India. Not even the nationalized bank. You have to open one account with the Reserve Bank of India. One account will be opened by the state government. another account will be opened by the contractor, and state share will flow to that account in the RBI. Central government fund will also flow to that account, and from the RBI, whatever bills are there, whatever payments are to be made, it directly goes to the account of the contractor, not even the department. Maybe what is next in the line. So this is the accounting system which is being followed by Government of India nowadays. We have also, Government of Sikkim has also onboarded many of these schemes, but we have not onboarded every scheme. And they have put one rider in the scheme only. If you do not onboard, no money. Another, this DBT is there, direct transfer to beneficiaries. That is also there. That it travels directly to the beneficiary's account. That is good also. No intervention of the department in between. खाली बिल बनाएर सबमिट गर्नु मात्रै हो. गभर्नमेन्ट अफ इन्डियाले सिधै बेनिफिसियरीको अकाउन्टमा ट्रान्सफर गरिदिन्छ रहेछ मनी सिधै. राम्रो हो त्यो त. That is a very good thing, because if you have the people in between, then there is every chances of leakages.
Yes. So
That is a good thing.
Yeah, ground level.
The problem now, so far judiciary's bills and all concern is now, pay accounts ma जुन चाहिँ officer बस्नु भएको छ. The moment they receive bills from judiciary, they are not happy because there is no specific responsibility given to any one of the officer. म त अहिले भ्याउँदिनँ, भरे गरिदिनु, ठिकै छ, हाइपर सिक्किम जुडिसियरी गरिदिइहाल्छ, भलाइहाल्छ भनेर, तर अर्को गर्दैन. सो एकाउन्ट सेक्सनमा पनि स्पेसिफिक एउटा अफिसरलाई, एउटा नोडल अफिसर जस्तै जुडिसियरीको पनि अर्जेन्ट हुन्छ. किनभने they have now
Somebody has to be designated as a nodal officer.
Nodal officer
with the
yes.
judiciary one.
By virtue of length of period, he will be experienced.
That is a good idea.
Yes, sir.
Like in DOP, there is one nodal officer.
Yes.
Judiciary. I don't know. Earlier, this Damodar Oda used to be the nodal officer who used to. He is deputy secretary who used to look after all the amendments.
Yes, yes, yes.
Very intelligent. Forwarded by the High Court to the state government. He was the one. He was the contact person for judiciary. Likewise, I think we can, request the finance department to,
Especially during the festival time.
Winter vacation, festival time, especially some of the employees, they are eager to release some festival allowance. So, मान्छे नै छैन माथि त.
I think that can be done.
Yes.
It's not a very.
Or still state government त्यसै blame गरिरहेको हुन्छ, गर्दैन काम जुडिसियरीको भन्ने. तर एउटा स्पेसिफिक अफिसरलाई जस्तै नोडल अफिसरलाई
You can designate
designated
one nodal
yes.
officer by designation. No?
Yes.
So that-
Finance department too.
If somebody is transferred,
Yes.
then somebody else will come and he will, step in the shoes of his the predecessor.
Yes.
That can be done, I think. That is not very
किनभने बिचरा
difficult
who
thing
now
to do.
तिनैजना एसआई शब्द काम गर्दैनन् कसैले, तर एउटा चाहिँ पिआई शब्द अराउने हुन्छ. तर अब तिनै एउटा आफ्नो आफ्नो डिपार्टमेन्ट, दे हेभ विथ अल रेस्पेक्ट आफ्नो आफ्नो मन पर्ने डिपार्टमेन्टको काम गर्छ, तर जुडिसियरीको गर्नु मन पर्दैन, अरूले मात्रै गर्छ.
What happens is, from all other departments, they will get certain,
yes.
benefits. In 2000, I think 2020, it was in 2020 or 21, before I got transferred from the district court, before I got transferred from district court to the law department, there was one, what was it, I claim leave encashment or what else we get? There's a block here. I think it is a leave encashment.
Leave encashment after
Leave
2 years.
encashment,
2 years.
yes. I wrote it. I requested through a letter to the Honorable High Court for the leave encashment, and there was, my leave encashment is due for I think 2 block years. So Honorable High Court gave me the order from this year to this year and from this year to this year. Then our accounts people, they prepared the bill and they submitted it to the Treasury. And Treasury put an objection saying that you cannot draw the leave encashment for the earlier, that block period, because that has lapsed. Then I think I sent someone to explain to him that, in our rules, it is not like that. You can claim the leave encashment for any block year.
Yes.
But they are very reluctant. Then I sent one officer from the district judiciary to the treasury with the, with the, no, not with the rules, with certain words
Yes.
to be conferred to him, saying that
Yes.
Honorable High Court has given me the orders that state government will pay this was amount, the leave encashment for these block years. But if you are not paying it, it's fine. Yes, give it to me in writing. I asked that guy to tell that officer that because of this is reason we cannot pay, and bring me back the file. Then I'll speak with the Honorable High Court. Day after tomorrow I got the order.
And we have to,
Yes.
it was in writing.
Yes, you write it in the file, I don't have any issues, you write it in the file, because of this is the reason we cannot pay. And I speak to the High Court. If the High Court says that, okay, you are not entitled to this, then I will not claim.
Having all this problem in the ground level of other department is that they are now used to deal those matters of state government employees.
As for the state government rules.
Employees.
Yes.
So that is,
Yes.
so
That is one of the
there is a
rules.
gap.
Yes.
So someone else who knows something about the provision of the judicial officer rules, then they will not disturb. But the problem is now, some of the officers, I think, with all respect, they have ego to. There are two categories now. One is really sleeping is very easy to wake up. If the another one is not.
Attaining to
Yes, yes, it's very difficult. Second category now they are following. So they are not interested to read the provision also. So therefore the problem is now, if some employees is there to entertain the grievances, now all these bills of the judicial officer, there won't be any problem. So that is the only problem in the ground level I have seen so
No,
far.
like all the officers in DHS, the Director of Health Services, they are dealing with the state government matters only. Day in and day out, all this, the reimbursement bill from the state government comes. From judiciary, hardly 1 or 2 files goes. And I'm 110% sure that none of the officers who are posted there in the DHS, Director of Health Services, have gone through our rules.
That is the problem.
There is a recent amendment last year also in our amenities rules. So nobody has gone through it. So they consider that we are also one of the officers from the state government department. We are like that only. We are equivalent to the state government officers. So whatever rules are applicable to the state government officers, that is applicable to judicial officers also. Because of that misconception,
Yes.
they tend to write all those things.
The moment like this just district just south
State. The moment we sent correspondence explaining them, they thought other way around, saying that ये धम्की दिँदैछ हामीले त त्यस दिएको होइन सरलाई आउँदैछ होला मेसेज तर धम्की दिएको होइन उहाँलाई चाहिँ बुझाउँदाखेरि पनि धेरै किनभने they have already committed mistakes.
Lot of things comes and
They are guilty now. The moment we sent the letter correspondence explaining, including all these rules, they thought judicial officer banker was धम्की दिँदैछ हामीलाई.
to discuss, we have discussed so many things.
no the
2-3 things just I'm taking advantage of
Okay,
your presence.
I just note it down. I
Yes.
try to do it.
So this regarding the your destruction of records, there is a provision in the account SFR for destruction of the record, but there is no provision to destruct the record of the, because this article 199 and 215 of the Constitution of India talks about High Court as a court of records, Supreme Court as a court of records. अब यो डिस्ट्रक्सन गरेन भने त ठाउँै हुँदैन.
I think all the district judges are court of records right now.
Okay, but where is the provision for, because this, we have to take into consideration RTA Act only. RTA Act is silent.
RTA Act is जति सक्दो सबै राख्नु
सबै राख्नु छ अब त्यो त ठाउँै छैन तल डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट पुरा भरिरहेको छ नचाहिँदो रेकर्डहरू कसरी हामीले डिस्ट्रक्सन गर्नुपर्ने जस्तै एनडीपीएस एक्टमा छ
हाम्रो ओल्ड लजमा पनि आई थिंक देयर इज समथिङ रिगार्डिङ दिस प्रिजर्भेसन अफ रेकर्ड्स एन्ड अल
हजुर
So the High Court बनाउँदैछ नि सर High Court separate block जस्तो records राख्नु
हैन तर अब like I said those records which are absolutely necessary to be preserved, I think that's it's all right for us to preserve all those records, but those records which are not at all necessary, I think we can destroy those records.
Yes sir. So अर्को कुरा जस्तै
छ त हैन र
Yes.
sir there is a rule in place,
डिस्ट्रक्सन को
rule or act something like that छ त
होइन त्यो डिस्ट्रक्सन चाहिँ जजै पुर्के जस्तो सर झन्डै उडाइदियो
हैन कति
लेटर साहबको पासमा डाइरेक्ट लगेर एसेम्ब्लीमा हाल्यो
राख्नु पाउँछ के
होइन त्यो कन्ट्रोभर्सियल छ यो इस्यु चाहिँ
जुडिशियल रेकर्ड त डिस्ट्रोय गर्नुपर्छ भन्नु पनि सकिँदैन होला नेभर नो व्हेन यु नीड इट
होइन आफ्टर दिस स्क्यानिङ आफ्टर इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन अफ दिस इन्फर्मेसन टेक्नोलोजी so this हाम्रो डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज नटले कुरा उठाउनु हुँदै कमन कार्डरको त्यो द्याट इज अलरेडी देयर इज अ प्रोभिजन रुल 3 मा कमन कार्डर फर जनरल कमन कार्डर फर स्टेनोग्राफर बट द थिङ इज नट इम्प्लिमेन्टेड सो फार because there is only one rule.
Ministerial staffs are concerned. I think for all the ministerial staff there should be one common cadre.
No, rule is there. Rule त छँदैछ नि 3 मा तर कमन कार्डर नभएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि
खासमा हाम्रो सिक्किममा चाहिँ के भयो भने सबै कोच एकैचोटि इस्टाब्लिस भएन नि त त्यसले गर्दाखेरि अब डिफ्रेन्ट कोच इस्टाब्लिस जति बेला भयो त्यति बेलै त्यहाँको लिमिटेड कार्डर क्रिएट गर्यो लिमिटेड कार्डर क्रिएट गर्दाखेरि त्यो रुल पनि अलग बनाउँदै लग्यो खासमा त्यही कार्डरमा एउटा नोटिफिकेसन निकालिदिएर फर दिस इस्टाब्लिसमेन्ट एज अफ नाउ सिन्स दिस इज अ टेम्परेरी इस्टाब्लिसमेन्ट सो यति मात्रै स्ट्रेन्थ हुन्छ स्टाफको भनेर त्यसैमा एउटा नोटिफिकेसन निकालेर एउटा मदर वेस्टबाट नै राखिदिएको थियो भने हुन्थ्यो होला तर अब हामीले इस्टको अलगै निकाल्यौँ वेस्टको अलगै निकाल्यौँ एपेन्डिक्स गरेर सिड्युल गरेर अलग निकाल्यौँ त्यसो गर्दाखेरि अलिकति कन्फ्युजन भयो त्यो मेबी त्यो त आई डोन्ट थिङ्क त्यसमा त त्यस्तो खासै हामीले अलिकति दिमाग लगाएर सबै रिपिल गरेर एउटा मात्रै राख्यो भने it will be better because you know there will be a lot of confusion if you have more than one rules. आफ्नो हुन्छै हुन्छ त्यो Nima sir, any other suggestion? Nodal officer
visionary गराउँदै पनि छ मलाई अब
I'll just
so out of the drivers it can be and this is for actually all the drivers within the state not just what only
state मा त कता एडजस्ट गर्दै हाल्छ नि because of the use
ड्राइभर चाहिँ तपाईको ट्याक्सी चलाउने पनि कहिले रिटायर हुँदैन छ सर 80 वर्ष बुढोले ड्राइभर गरिरहेको
थियो त्यसमा छ नि त्यो हाम्रो मोटर भेहिकल एक्टमा छ त इफ यु आर फिट देन ओन्ली यु क्यान ड्राइभ तर अब यहाँ त
के को सबै फिट
until your death you are fit नि त यहाँ त that is the problem actually if you properly follow the rules त छ नि त छैन त अब ड्राइभर
अर्को एउटा मेकानिजम मिलाउन सकेछ म कहिलेदेखि भन्नु म नहुँदा चाहिँ हाम्रो वाइ हाल्छ भने चाहिँ यो एसटिसिएस कन्ज्युमरबाट चाहिँ हामी मगाउनै पर्ने छ नि होइन
यस्तो छ सो
यो
क्वालिटी राम्रो हुँदैन हामी रेट कसले भेटिरहेको
हुन्छ नाउ दे
रेट हाई क्वालिटी लो हाउ टु
नो दिस यस्तो हुन्छ अब 309 हो स्टेट गभर्नमेन्टले फन्ड दिइरहेको छ त्यो चाहिँ उहाँहरूले नै गर्नुपर्ने छ भनेर छ तर अब
एसटिसीले दिएको छ
यहाँ चाहिँ तपाईँको सिक्किम जुडिसियरी म हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ चिफले नै डाइरेक्सन दिनुभएको छ यु गो फर ओपन टेन्डर
हो नि चाहिँ गर्नुपर्ने यस्तो के रे हो त्यो चाहिँ के एसटिसिएस कन्ज्युमर भयो त्यो फर्निचर किन्ने एसटिसीहरू किन्ने यस्तो लो क्याटेगोरीको आउँछ रेट चाहिँ हाई
एसटिसिएस मा त केही छँदै छैन नि
कुनै कसलाई दिन्छ
कसलाई दिन्छ त्यसले पनि कसलाई दिन्छ
रेट चाहिँ हाई अनि क्वालिटी चाहिँ
मोर देन डबल रेट हुन्छ तर भनेको जस्तो